The ER waiting room looked like Halloween threw up and then called 911 on itself. A teenager in a busted vampire cape held gauze to his eyebrow. A mom in cat ears argued with her pirate son about stitches. Somebody had tried to carve a pumpkin on their thigh. For the bit. It wasn't funny. It was bloody. I was 6 hours into a double and 30 minutes past my last nerve. My name tag said Jade, but my soul said, please don't ask for more blankets. Room 3 wants another warm blanket, Terry, one of the techs, said, sliding a chart onto the counter like it was a bomb. Tell room 3 the blanket machine is not a spa, I said, already walking. But fine. One more. Last one. Tell them it's the premium subscription. Terry smirked. Put it on their tab. By 11:40 p.m., we'd treated 2 drunk falls, a sprained wrist from an overcommitted Thriller dance, and a teenager who ate a plastic spider off a cupcake to prove a point. The point was apparently that his stomach hates him. I checked on Ty, a little boy with asthma who'd come in earlier after running around in a cheap werewolf mask. He'd stabilized and was now sleeping, tiny chest rising steady. His aunt sat in the chair next to him, scrolling her phone, face set in that exhausted look you only get when you love a kid more than your own life. You're good to go in 20, I whispered. Paperwork's almost done. She mouthed, thank you. I gave a nod and stepped out, rolling my shoulders. I needed water, maybe chips, definitely candy. I hadn't peed since 7 p.m. So my body was 90% iced coffee and 2 bites of a granola bar that tasted like a handshake. The vending machines live in a sad little alcove off the main hall. Fluorescent light that makes everybody look like a ghost. I was digging in my pocket for singles when the man in front of me sighed at the candy selection like it owed him money. He was tall, baseball cap, gray hoodie, barber's apron still tied around his waist like he'd run here straight from work. Nice shoulders, nice everything, honestly. He punched the glass with a knuckle. If I buy candy corn, do I lose my right to vote? I snorted before I could stop it. I mean, you should. Candy corn is a cry for help. He turned, warm brown skin, a trimmed beard, smile that looked easy and real. Eyes did that quick flick, name tag, scrubs, bun. Nurse Jade, he said, like we'd met. We met? I asked, trying to remember if I'd yelled at him earlier. Always possible. Sort of. Brought my client's nephew in a few hours ago. Ty? Mask made him wheeze. You were the one who got him on the neb and pretended the dinosaur on the machine was real. Big roar. He laughed. I shrugged like it was nothing, even though that kind of stuff keeps me human. Kid's cool. His aunt called me, said he's good. So, thanks. He stuck out a hand. I'm Malik. I shook it. His hand was warm, a little rough, like he actually works with it. You're welcome, and don't buy candy corn. Damn, I had hoped you'd be one of those it's tradition people. Tradition is macaroni on Thanksgiving. Tradition is not eating candles. He laughed. It rolled out of him easy. Okay, what's the move then? He looked back at the machine. We got Snickers, we got Kit Kat, we got those sad off-brand gummies that taste like plastic promises. Kit Kat is a safe bet, Snickers if you didn't eat dinner. Avoid the gummies unless you also enjoy chewing erasers. Kit Kat it is. He fed the machine and punched B7. You want something? You look like you've threatened at least 3 stethoscopes today. I almost said no. Cap the interaction. Keep it clean. Go back to work. keep my walls where they belong. But my stomach growled like a demon, and I had been nice to too many people who were not nice back tonight. Cheetos and water, I said, and if the machine eats your money, I will not perform CPR. That's harsh, he said, grinning. He bought all 3. When the water bottle clunked down, he grabbed it and held it out. For the hero who makes small children believe in dinosaur machines. I took it. Hero is a stretch. I'm just trying to keep us all from crying. Valid. He passed me the Cheetos. What time you off? Legally, midnight. Spiritually, next Tuesday. Been there. He leaned against the machine, thumb hooked in his apron string. I run Faded Saints down on 79th. Halloween is wild. Everybody wants a last-minute lineup for their costume like Instagram is paying bonuses. You got the patience of Job, I said, ripping open the Cheetos. I'd start buzzing folks bald for talking crazy. You say that like I haven't done it once. He mimed a buzz. He deserved it. I laughed. It came out like a little cough because I wasn't used to laughing with a stranger at work. Not like that. And yeah, I clocked the way he looked at me. Curious, not creepy. Most dudes don't bother with eye contact when you got scrubs on. He did. They got you working the block party? I asked. Yeah. Our shop sponsors the bounce house and the costume contest every year. I work the mic, roast the dads, hype the kids. You coming? I live 2 blocks over. I usually do the candy handoff shift if I'm not knocked out. Pull up. He took a bite of his Kit Kat and pointed at me with it. I'll save you a cider. You don't know me. I might be a hot apple cider hater. You already said you hate candy corn. That's 2 for 2. Your palate is trustworthy. I fought a smile and lost. Okay, barber, cider might be earned. A code alarm blinked on the board down the hall. Not life or death, but enough to pull at my brain. I checked the room number out of habit. Terry could grab it. I still took a step like I was on a leash. You need to go? He asked, reading the shift in me. Probably. I took a long drink of water and tried to ignore how good it felt sliding down. I've got a lot. Yeah, he said, soft, like he actually meant it. Same. We sat in that weird vending machine quiet for a second, both of us listening to the ER hum, the wheels, the beeps, the distant cry of a toddler who didn't want their temperature taken. You dressing up? He asked. I gestured to my scrubs. Nurse, very method. I might add a plastic stethoscope for range. He smirked. I'm doing Blade. It's easy. All black, sunglasses at night. Say, I was born ready, a lot. Of course you are, I said. You look like a man who keeps one good black coat and refuses to sweat. Facts. You clowning me? A little. He pulled his phone out like he might ask for my number. Then, I saw it. Talked himself out of it. Respect. Or nerves. Either way, it made me like him more. I hate the hard sell. Hate, hate, hate. Listen, he said, finally. If you need a laugh on Halloween, swing by the mic. I'll be the one talking trash about candy corn and pretending I'm security. And if you need a Band-Aid because a candy mom throws a shoe at you, we got you, I said. Deal. We started drifting, the way you do when your break is over and real life grabs your collar. I crushed the empty water bottle and tossed it in the blue bin. He did the same. He stuck his hands in his pockets like he was deciding something heavy. He pulled one hand out and flashed a card, shop info, crisp design, faded saints in white on matte black. "Not trying to be that guy," he said, "but if you ever want the cleanest fade on a Tuesday at 9 p.m. after a day from hell, text me. I'll open the shop. No crowd. Just vibes. On the house." I took the card. "I don't get fades." "Then bring your cousin, your uncle, your imaginary boyfriend. I owe you for Ty." "Stop trying to make me like you, Malik." "Is it working?" I opened my mouth, then Devin flashed across my head like a jump scare. Devin, with the fake apology 2 years back, the Halloween he swore he fell into a kiss with a girl dressed like a devil. I drove home that night in a Cinderella costume with mascara bleeding down my face. I threw the shoes away, kept the lesson. I slid his card into my scrub pocket anyway. "I should get back." "Yeah," he said, eyes scanning my face like he caught the storm cloud. He didn't push. "Stay safe, Nurse Jade." "You too, Blade." He tipped an invisible hat and walked off. I watched him go longer than I meant to. His shoulders said steady. The card in my pocket said risk. My chest said, "Girl, relax." The alarm on the board pinged again. I went to room 5 to calm down a dad convinced his toddler's runny nose was mysterious lung failure. I explained snot. Gave Ty's aunt discharge papers and a sticker he did not need but absolutely deserved. At 12:07 a.m., I finally sat down and charted until my fingers creaked. When I clocked out, the air outside slapped me awake, cold, sharp, a little smoky from somewhere. Halloween Eve Chicago does not do half commitment. Pumpkins on stoops. Plastic skeletons zip-tied to fences. A kid in a dinosaur onesie asleep on his dad's shoulder outside the 24-hour Walgreens. I tucked my hands into my jacket sleeves and started the 3-block walk to my apartment. My phone buzzed with a text from Tasha. "You alive? You working block party?" I sent back, "Yes and maybe." She. "Pull up. I got gummy worms and that speaker that makes the floor shake." Me. "Gummy worms are nasty." She. "Block it." I laughed to myself, then stopped at the corner bodega. Mr. Akhtar had fake spider webs all over his counter and a bloody handprint decal on the door he clearly regretted. "Jade," he said, ringing up my Gatorade and a pack of Twizzlers. "You work too much." "Tell my rent," I said. He chuckled. "Take candy, free, for nurse who doesn't kill me for the handprint." He tossed a mini Kit Kat into my bag. I stared at it, thought about Malik's card burning a rectangle against my hip. My rules said, don't text men you meet on a double shift. My rules said, don't date in October. My rules said a lot of things that kept me alone and safe and a little bored. Outside my building, the motion light clicked on and scared a cat so bad it almost did parkour into the bushes. I went inside, climbed the creaky stairs, and dropped my bag on the tiny kitchen table. I took a shower so hot my skin sang, pulled on a t-shirt, and fell onto the couch with my hair in a towel. The apartment smelled like laundry detergent and the faint cinnamon candle I'd forgotten to blow out earlier. Yes, I know, don't yell at me. I blew it out. The Kit Kat lay next to my phone like a dare. I unwrapped it, snapped a bar, and chewed, thinking about the way Malik had said, stay safe, like he actually meant it, not like a line. I pulled his card from my scrub pocket and held it up. Simple, clean, faded saints across the top, his name at the bottom, number in the middle. I opened a new text and typed, then deleted it. I wasn't ready to audition for New Mistake of the Year. I also wasn't ready to pretend I didn't feel lighter in that vending machine for 5 minutes. I saved his number without sending anything. Malik, Blade Barber. Judge me later. By the time I crawled into bed, it was 1:02 a.m. I set my alarm for 8, told Siri to mind her business, and stared at the ceiling fan's slow spin. Tomorrow was the block party. Kids in costumes, dads in cheap masks, moms with tote bags and hot cider. Me, maybe, with a plastic stethoscope and a plan to avoid trouble. I turned off the lamp. The room went dark, except for the glow from the streetlight sneaking around the blinds. Somewhere outside, a siren wailed and faded. Somebody shouted, then laughed. I closed my eyes and let the day slide off me inch by inch. Before sleep took me, I heard my own voice in my head, tired but honest. You can go. You can leave if it's weird. You can also stay if it's good. Fine, I muttered into my pillow. I'll take the stupid cider. And because I am not as hard as I pretend to be, I smiled at the ceiling like a clown and fell asleep. The next morning hit like a hangover made of fluorescent lights. I woke up to my phone screaming, "Work!" in my own voice, thanks, past me, for recording that stupid reminder. It was my one day off before the Halloween block party, but the hospital had sent a "Can you come in?" text at 6 a.m. I tossed my phone onto the couch and flipped at the bird. Nope, not today, Satan, not even with overtime. I made coffee strong enough to fix a bad mood and sat on the balcony. Chicago was dressed up for Halloween. Kids running down the street with fake axes, leaves crunching like chips under sneakers, the wind whistling through plastic ghosts hanging off porches. The world felt alive in that weird Halloween way, half creepy, half fun. My phone buzzed again. Tasha, bitch, you better not flake tonight. Me, I never flake. Tasha, lies, you flaked on my birthday dinner. BC your emotional support laundry pile needed. Me, that pile is loyal. Tasha, bring your ass to the shop at 6. Malik throwing a pre-party. I paused mid-sip. Malik. Right, the vending machine barber with the blade thing. I told myself it didn't matter, but my stomach did that stupid flip anyway. Meanwhile, across town at Faded Saints barbershop, Malik was finishing a fade and roasting one of his regulars. Bro, you can't wear a ghost sheet to the block party and call it a costume, Malik said, brushing off the guy's neck. You gon' look like a bedbug infestation. The shop roared with laughter. It was packed. Saturday before Halloween, everybody wanted to look sharp. Clippers buzzing, R&B low on the speaker, the smell of alcohol spray and cologne mixing in the air. The whole crew, Dez, Rico, and Tone, were clowning each other as usual. Tone, the youngest, said, Yo, Malik, what's up with that nurse chick from the hospital? Heard you was looking at her like she cured your soul. Malik shot him a look. Man, shut up. Rico grinned. So she bad then. She's... Malik started, then shook his head. She's different. She don't play. That means she fine, and she told you no, Dez said. The shop cracked up again. Y'all childish, Malik muttered, but he was smiling. Anyway, she probably ain't coming. I gave her the invite. She got that I don't do parties energy. Tone leaned on the counter. Yeah, but she also got that I might pull up and surprise your ass vibe. Those be the dangerous ones. Malik smirked. You think? I know. Tone grabbed a broom. You better line up that beard. and put on that cologne that smelled like rent money. 6:12 p.m. I stood outside Faded Saints with my arms crossed, regretting every decision that led me here. Tasha had convinced me to come, calling it a small pregame. Small my ass. The music was already spilling into the street. I texted her. You said small. This looks like a damn kickback. Tasha popped out the door 2 seconds later in a sparkly cat costume. Stop acting scared, boo. You look cute. I'm in jeans and a hoodie. Exactly. Low-key sexy. That's your brand. I sighed. I hate you. Inside, the shop was lit up with orange lights and fake cobwebs. Candy bowls on every station. Somebody had made punch in a big clear bowl with floating fake eyeballs. The place smelled like aftershave and sugar. Malik was in the back, lining up a last-minute client. He glanced up mid-snip, and yeah, I caught that smile before he tried to hide it. Well, damn, Des whispered from the couch. Blade's about to fumble the clippers. Y'all hush, Tasha said, smirking. I pretended not to notice the chaos and leaned against the counter. Malik finished up, dusted off the cape, and walked over wiping his hands on a towel. You showed up, he said. Didn't think you'd risk this much second-hand cologne. Wasn't sure, I said. But your cousin kidnapped me. Tasha don't take no for an answer. Clearly. He laughed. You want something to drink? I swear the punch is PG rated. I don't trust anything red in a plastic cup, I said, grabbing a bottle of water instead. You smart. He leaned against the counter next to me. So, Nurse Jade, you always this hard to find? I'm not hard to find. I'm just busy trying to keep people alive while y'all run around with razor blades and gossip. He grinned. Fair, but we do line up the gossip clean. Apparently. Tasha waved from across the room. Jade, come meet Rico's cousin. He's single. I groaned under my breath. Malik smirked. Want me to fake be your man for 5 minutes? You offering? I'm generous. I played along, sliding closer just enough for her to see. Tasha raised an eyebrow, then mouthed, Oh, okay. I turned to Malik. Congratulations! You're officially my fake boyfriend for the next 10 minutes. He leaned down, voice low. Bet, but you realize once I start faking, I sell it. Try me. He held out his pinky. Deal. I hooked mine with his, and it was stupid how my chest buzzed like a live wire. Then Des shouted, Yo, Blade, got a girlfriend now! And the whole shop broke into fake applause. I covered my face. Malik grinned like he lived for this. See? He said. You walked in and made my shop entertaining. I'm billing you for emotional damage. Send it to Faded Saints LLC. He said. We pay in Kit Kats and good intentions. I laughed, finally relaxing a little. The music switched to an old-school slow jam, people talking, laughing, just vibing. For the first time in a long time, I didn't feel like the overworked nurse or the girl who got cheated on in costume. I just felt normal, seen. Malik looked down at me. You coming to the block party tomorrow? I might. He smirked. That's a yes in nurse language. Don't get cocky. Too late. As the night went on, I found myself laughing more than I planned, eating chips I didn't want, letting Tasha dance me into the middle of the floor. Malik stayed close, but never too close. No pressure. Just easy. When I left, He walked me to my car. "Appreciate you coming through," he said. "Didn't think you'd actually show?" "Neither did I admitted, "but it wasn't terrible." "I'll take that. I'll see you tomorrow?" "Maybe," he smiled. "See, that's that nurse code again." I got in my car and rolled down the window. "Good night, Blade." "Night, nurse." I drove off, catching him in the mirror still standing there, hands in his pockets, smiling like he knew something I didn't. And maybe he did. Because for the first time in 2 years, Halloween didn't feel like a reminder of what I lost. It felt like something might actually start. By the time Halloween Eve rolled around, the whole block looked like somebody paid rent with fake cobwebs and orange lights. Every porch had a pumpkin, every kid had sugar eyes, and every adult had a cup they swore was just juice. I told myself I wasn't going anywhere. I'd worked all week, done my one social thing at the barber shop, and planned to spend the night on the couch with Netflix and leftover Chinese. But then Tasha texted. "Tasha, bring her ass. It's costume night." Me, I'm literally in a hoodie. Tasha, "Cool, you can be tired, nurse. I got the prop stethoscope." Me, "That's not even creative." Tasha, "Neither is your dating life. Get dressed." 10 minutes later, I was standing in front of my closet, muttering curses at my reflection. I threw on black scrubs, my favorite gold hoops, tied my curls into a bun, and said, "Screw it." If people could show up dressed like sexy Teletubbies, I could go as underpaid healthcare worker. The small Halloween mixer was at one of Malik's barber friends' lofts above the shop. Lowlights, R&B, way too much perfume. Fake smoke from a machine hung in the air like ghost breath. I had to admit, it was a vibe. I was halfway to convincing myself I'd stay for one drink when I heard it. Look who decided to clock out for once. Malik. He was leaning against the counter in a long black coat, all black everything, blade glasses perched on his nose. Somehow, he made it work. He smiled, showing just enough teeth to remind you he probably knew it worked too. "Wow," I said, "you really committed to the vampire thing." "Half vampire," he corrected. "Blade don't sparkle. He slice." "Good to know," I said, deadpan. "You out here saving souls or lining them up?" "Both, if they tip." He looked me over once. Nothing disrespectful, just appreciation. "Scrubs again?" he said. "Yeah, I'm going for authenticity. It's called budget cosplay." 10 out of 10. Would still check in for treatment. I rolled my eyes, but the corner of my mouth betrayed me. Tasha appeared behind me like a chaotic fairy godmother. "Malik, tell her to stop babysitting the wall and come play." Malik smirked. "You heard the lady. You scared or what?" "I'm not scared," I said, sipping my water. "I'm just selective about my fun." "Translation," he said. "She's scared." "Boy, please!" The words came out quicker than I meant, and his grin widened like he'd won something. The DJ changed the song, one of those slow-burn 2000s tracks everybody knows the words to, even if they lie about it. Tasha grabbed somebody's cousin and started dancing. The room swayed. Malik reached out a hand, casual but deliberate. "Come on," he said. "It's just a dance." I stared at his hand for a beat too long. Then I took it. We moved in that slow, lazy way that isn't really dancing. Just bodies finding rhythm, eyes locked, smiles fighting their way out. His palm was warm on my waist. My heart was doing cardio for no reason. "So," he said quietly, "you always this tense when you have fun?" "I don't know," I said. You always this cocky when you breathe? He laughed, a low rumble that hit somewhere behind my ribs. I'll take that as a maybe. Take it however you want. Dangerous words, nurse. Before I could clap back, a dude in a dinosaur suit stumbled between us, yelling, Hey, y'all too serious? Halloween, not Valentine's. He bumped Malik's arm, spilled his drink, and staggered away. Perfect timing to ruin a moment. Story of my life. Malik shook his head, chuckling. And that's why I stick to juice. You drink juice at parties? I got a shop to run. I don't need to wake up in somebody's Snapchat story talking about it wasn't me. I smiled. Responsible and funny. Dangerous combo. He leaned closer. So are you. You just don't know it yet. Something in the way he said that made my stomach flip. I stepped back, needing air that wasn't laced with whatever cologne he was wearing. You should use that line next time you're cutting hair, I said. Might get you more tips. Oh, it's not a line. Sure it's not. Before either of us could say anything else, Tasha yelled across the room. Group photo! We lined up, me, Malik, half the shop crew, 2 girls dressed as fairies, and the drunk dinosaur guy again. Somebody snapped it. Flash bright as hell. I blinked spots from my eyes and grabbed my purse. I'm heading out, I said. Work tomorrow. You sure? Malik asked. It's early. Early for you, maybe. My job starts before your clippers wake up. He nodded. Fair enough, but you're coming to the block party tomorrow, right? I hesitated. He raised an eyebrow. Come on, you promised cider. I groaned. I didn't promise, I just didn't say no. Same thing. I gave in with a laugh. Fine, but if y'all start some line dance nonsense, I'm leaving. Deal. He handed me a cup of apple cider on my way out. Consider it a down payment. It was warm, sweet, a little spicy. Just like the problem I knew I was walking into. Outside, the city was cold but alive. Kids in costumes running around, car horns, laughter echoing down the street. I pulled my hoodie tighter, sipping the cider. Behind me, I heard Malik call out, Don't ghost me tomorrow! Can't promise that, I yelled back. He laughed. Then I'll haunt you. I shook my head, smiling to myself as I walked to my car. When I got home, I sat on the couch, cider in hand, scrolling through the photo from the party someone had already posted. We looked happy, normal. I hadn't looked like that in a long time. I sighed, leaning back. Maybe tomorrow, I thought. Just one more night of fun. Then back to the usual. Walls up, heart quiet. But somewhere deep down, a small, stubborn part of me whispered, what if this time it doesn't end in ruins? I told that part to shut up, and still smiled anyway. Halloween Day started with chaos and caffeine. By noon, I was knee-deep in patients who thought fake blood was real blood, and kids who ate half their candy stash before noon. One dude even came in dressed like Freddy Krueger and fainted when I tried to give him a flu shot. Classic America. By 6 o'clock, my shift was done. My feet were plotting a mutiny, and the only thing I wanted to do was shower and sleep. But then I looked at the clock. Block party time. I don't even know what possessed me to go. Maybe boredom, maybe curiosity, maybe the fact that I still had Malik's laugh stuck in my head from the night before. Whatever it was, by 7:30, I was standing in front of my mirror in jeans, a cropped hoodie, and black Timberlands, trying to convince myself I didn't care what I looked like. I told myself it wasn't a date, just Halloween, just a block party. Just one more night to feel like a human instead of a machine that takes blood pressure. The block was alive. Music, smoke from grills, lights strung up like Christmas came early. Kids ran around in costumes. Somebody's uncle was drunk already, arguing with a traffic cone. It smelled like barbecue and sugar and cold air. I spotted Malik near the DJ tent, mic in hand, hyping the crowd. "All right, y'all, costume contest in 10 minutes. If you show up in pajamas talking about you a tired parent, that's not a costume, that's trauma." The crowd cracked up. He saw me halfway through his next line and damn near lost his place. He handed the mic to one of his barbers and jogged over, grinning like I'd caught him doing something illegal. "Well, look who didn't ghost me." I said, "Maybe." "And you maybe lied." He grinned. "I'll allow it." He was dressed like Blade again. Sunglasses, trench coat, the whole thing. But tonight it looked less like a costume and more like a statement. "You still committing to the vampire look?" I asked. "Until further notice." He gave me a slow once-over. "You came as someone who didn't have time for Target." He laughed. 10 out of 10. Effortlessly fine." I rolled my eyes. "You rehearsed that?" "Wrote it this morning in the mirror." "Figures." The DJ switched songs. Old school meets trap, one of those beats that makes your body move before your brain approves. The crowd started dancing, kids weaving between adults, the night humming with energy. Malik leaned close enough that I could feel his breath when he said, "You dance, nurse?" "I survive," I said. "Different skill set." "Come on," he teased. "If I can get grown men to floss in public, you can two-step." I should have said no. But he took my hand, and the city noise faded for a second. We found a rhythm, nothing fancy, just that natural, close kind of dancing that says more than conversation ever could. "You got rhythm," he said. "You talk too much." He chuckled. "That's fair." Somewhere between the laughter and the beat, I forgot to keep my distance. He smelled like cologne and fresh air, and his hand stayed respectful but sure at my waist. For the first time in a long time, I wasn't thinking about work or heartbreak or bills. I was just there. We ended up sitting on the curb later, sharing a funnel cake like teenagers. Powdered sugar everywhere. "You ever take a night off and actually relax?" he asked. "This is relaxing. You've been checking your phone every 5 minutes like somebody might flatline." I sighed. "Force of habit. You don't just turn that off." "I get it," he said. "When I opened the shop, I slept there for 2 weeks. Thought if I left, it'd fall apart." Did it? Nope. Turns out the world spins fine without me. Still weird, though. I looked at him. "You always this honest?" "Only when I liked the company." He said it so casually that I almost missed it. I looked away before he saw me smile. A little boy in a Spider-Man suit tripped and scraped his knee right in front of us. His mom panicked, and before she could even move, I was already up, kneeling beside him. "Hey, buddy, you good?" I said. "Let me see." Tiny scrape, nothing serious. I pulled a wipe from my purse. Nurse instincts never clock out, and cleaned it. Spider-Man sniffled. "There, you're good as new. You're Spider-Man, right? You heal fast." He grinned, proud again. "Yeah." "Go save some candy then." The mom thanked me 3 times before walking off. When I sat back down, Malik was watching me with that soft, quiet kind of look. The kind that makes you feel lean. "What?" I asked, brushing sugar off my jeans. Nothing? Just, you make even Halloween feel safe. I snorted. That's the corniest thing I've heard all week. He shrugged. Still true? We sat there for a minute, listening to the music and the laughter. Streetlights glowed orange against the night, and somewhere a group of kids yelled about who got the king-size Snickers. You cold? He asked. A little. He pulled off his trench coat and draped it over my shoulders without asking. It smelled like him. Clean, warm, faint hint of something woody. You trying to be smooth? I asked. Nah, just got manners. Mm-hmm. He grinned. You hungry? I just ate half your funnel cake. That wasn't food. That was sugar and regret. I laughed. You not wrong. When the fireworks started near the end of the night, cheap neighborhood ones that still felt magical, he looked up, hands resting on his knees. Crazy how this started as me buying a Kit Kat, he said, and me threatening to quit mid-shift. He turned to me. You glad you didn't? I hesitated. Yeah, I guess I am. The music faded, and for a second the air between us felt heavy, like something was about to happen if either of us dared move. Then somebody yelled, Yo, Malik! Come judge these costumes. He sighed, saved by the neighborhood. Go do your civic duty. He stood, offered me his hand. I took it, let him pull me up. As he walked off, I heard him call over his shoulder. Don't disappear before I get back. No promises, I yelled, smiling. I stayed for a while, watching him laugh with kids, roast dads, hand out candy like a local hero. It hit me that maybe he wasn't playing at being the good guy. Maybe he actually was one. When I finally left, the street was almost empty. The music low, pumpkins flickering out one by one. I looked down at the coat still around my shoulders and laughed under my breath. Malik's voice echoed in my head. Don't ghost me. I pulled out my phone, snapped a photo of the coat, and texted him. Your vampire forgot his cape. He replied 30 seconds later. Then I guess you'll have to bring it back to the lair. I rolled my eyes and typed back, Boy, it's literally a barber shop. Still counts, he sent. And damn it, I was smiling again. The next morning, I woke up to sunlight in my eyes and Malik's damn coat still draped over my chair. It smelled like him. Soap, cologne, and that hint of clipper's oil that never leaves a barber's clothes. I told myself I was going to wash it and drop it off. That was the plan. Then I checked my phone. Nothing. No text. No, you home safe? No, good morning, nurse. I frowned. Not that I expected anything, but a simple text wouldn't have killed him. I'd spent the night thinking about how nice the block party was, how easy it felt. Now I just felt dumb for letting my guard down. I threw the blanket off, muttering, See? This why I don't get too friendly. Over at Faded Saints, Malik was standing by his chair, phone in hand, staring at the screen like it owed him money. Rico noticed. Bro, you been looking at that phone since you clocked in. I'm waiting on a client. No, you waiting on that nurse chick, Rico said, grinning. What's her name, Jade? Man, mind your business. So she didn't text back, huh? Malik sighed. Nah, I thought we was cool last night. Guess not. Maybe she busy, Des said from the back. She work in the ER, right? People always dying and shit. Malik smirked. Thanks for the comfort, Doc. At the hospital, I was in the break room, scrolling Instagram between patients when Tasha came in. Okay, spill, she said, sitting across from me. What? You left the party grinning like a fool. Don't act brand new. I kept my eyes on my phone. It was just a good night. So, when's the next date? There's no next date. I haven't even heard from him. She blinked. He didn't text you? Nope. Did you text him? I looked up. Hell no. Then how he's supposed to know you not mad? Why would I be mad? 'Cause you sound mad. I'm not mad. She raised an eyebrow. Okay, fine. Maybe a little. I leaned back. Whatever. Men get bored fast. It's not new. Tasha shook her head. You make it too easy to fuck up. You got walls so high, even Jesus need a ladder. Good, I said. I like peace. Peace is fine, but don't call it peace if it's just fear in a hoodie. I stared at her, annoyed but not wronged. She was right, but I wasn't about to admit that mid-shift. That night, I got home, made noodles, and watched a bad horror movie while scrolling through TikTok. I wasn't thinking about Malik, but when a video popped up of the block party hashtag, guess who was front and center? Him, mic in hand, laughing, hyping kids up. He looked good, happy, like yesterday didn't even matter. I exhaled through my nose, grabbed my phone, and typed out, You forgot your coat. Then I deleted it. Then I retyped it. Then deleted it again. I tossed my phone on the couch. Nah, fuck that. He can text me. 5 minutes later, my phone buzzed. Malik. You good, nurse? You disappeared faster than candy corn. I stared at it, smiling despite myself. Me. I worked today. Some of us got real jobs. Malik. Damn, I see how it is. I was just making sure you got home safe. Me. I did. Thanks for the coat. I'll drop it off tomorrow. Malik. Or you can come by the shop after your shift. I'll buy you food as a trade. Me. Bribery? Malik. Motivation. Me. We'll see. The next day after work, I did stop by Fated Saints. The shop was quieter than usual. Just music, clippers humming, and Malik lining up some kid. He looked up when I walked in, smile immediate. Look who showed. I brought your coat, I said, tossing it over the chair. Appreciate it. You hungry? I'm good. Liar, sit. He pointed to the waiting chair and handed me a takeout container. Smelled like wings and fries. I sat, ate, didn't talk much. He watched me for a second. You know, you don't have to act tough around me. I looked up. I'm not acting. Yeah, you are, he said. You think if you act like you don't care, nobody can hurt you. But that ain't real peace. That's just you hiding. I put the fork down. You done analyzing me, Dr. Phil? He smiled. Yeah, I'm done. But you still wrong. I shook my head, but the corner of my mouth twitched. You talk too much. Only when it's the truth. For a minute, we just sat there, music low, fries between us. It wasn't awkward. It was just calm. Then I said, I don't do messy. I got burned before. He nodded. So did I, but I ain't scared to try again. Good for you. Good for both of us, he said, if you let it be. I didn't reply. I just kept eating. When I got up to leave, he stood too. Jade. What? He looked at me for a second, like he was debating saying something smart, then said, Text me next time you get home late, just so I know you're safe. That's not your job. I didn't say it was. Just do it. I rolled my eyes. You're bossy. He grinned. You like it. I didn't answer, but yeah, maybe I did. That night, I sat on my couch, scrolling again, thinking about what he said. My thumb hovered over his name in my contacts. I typed, "Home safe." He sent back, "Good. Sleep easy, nurse." I smiled. "You too, barber." Then I tossed my phone on the table and turned off the light. Saturday came fast. I spent half the morning cleaning, half pretending I wasn't checking my phone every 10 minutes. Malik had texted the night before. Malik, "You off Saturday?" Me, "Yeah, why?" Malik, "I'm picking you up. Nothing fancy, jeans and a hoodie." Me, "You sound bossy again." Malik, "I'm consistent." He wasn't lying. At 4, he texted, "Outside." I looked out the window, black Charger, music low, him in a white tee and gray joggers. No coat this time. He looked good. Annoyingly good. I got in the car. "You always this punctual?" I said. "Always." "Always," he said. "Hospital time rubbed off on me." I laughed. "Hospital time is late." He shrugged. "Then I'm early for you." We drove with the windows cracked. Chicago air was cold, but it felt good. He played old school R&B, the kind you don't have to skip. We didn't talk much, but it wasn't awkward. "Where are we going?" I asked. "Lakefront," he said. "I got food. We'll eat, talk, chill." "Picnic date?" He smirked. "Nah, just 2 people eating in public. Don't make it weird." He parked by the lake, near a spot where a few people were fishing and couples were walking. He popped the trunk, bag of food, bottled drinks, a blanket. "You planned this?" I asked. "Yeah," he said. "You work too much. You needed air." We sat on the blanket, opened the containers. Wings, fries, mac, cornbread. Simple, good. "This looks like church food," I said. "Exactly. Praise the chef." We started eating. I didn't realize how hungry I was until I almost inhaled a wing. "Slow down," he said, laughing. "Damn, you fighting it?" "It's good," I said. "You don't talk while you eat wings." "That's fair." We sat quiet for a while, watching the water. Then he said, "You always this serious?" "I'm not serious." "You are," he said. "You think before everything you say, like you scared of saying the wrong thing. That's called being smart." He smiled. "It's called overthinking." I glared at him. "You analyze everybody like this?" "Only when I like them." I looked away. "You say that to everyone?" "No, you just make it easy." I didn't know what to say to that, so I ate another fry. After a few minutes, he said, "You ever been in love?" I looked at him. "That's a weird question for a first date." "It's not weird, just real." "Yeah," I said, after a second. "I was. He cheated. Halloween 2 years ago." Malik nodded. "Damn." "Yeah, dressed like the devil, too." Shit was ironic. He laughed once, then went quiet. I had one too. "Girl I thought I'd marry. Left when I lost my shop lease. Said she needed a man with stability." "Translation, money," I said. "Exactly." We both laughed, but it wasn't funny, just honest. The sun started dropping, air getting colder. I pulled my hoodie tighter. He noticed. "You cold again?" "I'm fine." He handed me his hoodie anyway. "Put it on." I frowned. "You always this bossy?" "Always this caring." I sighed, but put it on. It was warm. I didn't say thank you, but he smirked like he heard it anyway. We packed up after the food was gone. Before we left, he said, "You know, You can let your guard down with me. I'm not guarded. He gave me that look again. Jade. What? You're lying. I sighed. Whatever. I just don't like wasting time. He nodded. Good. Then don't waste it pushing away somebody who actually gives a fuck. That one hit. I didn't respond. I just looked at him. He didn't try to kiss me or make a move. He just looked back, calm, steady. Come on, he said finally. Let's go before it gets too cold. In the car, he dropped me off at my apartment. I unbuckled my seatbelt, hesitating. Thanks for the food, I said. Anytime, he said. You gonna text me tonight? Maybe. See? That maybe shit again, he said, smiling. You like keeping me on my toes. It's a hobby. He laughed. Good night, nurse. Night, barber. I went inside, closed the door, leaned against it, and muttered, fuck. I was smiling. Again, it was Thursday when the bullshit started. I was working a morning shift, tired but in a decent mood. Malik had texted me earlier that day. Malik, you want tacos tonight? Me, at work till 7. Malik, cool, I'll bring them to you. Me, you trying to be cute? Malik, no, hungry. I was halfway smiling at my phone when Terry, one of the techs, said, Girl, you cheesin'. That must be that barber dude. Mind your business, I said. Mm-hmm. He must be fine if you, smiling at a screen this early. I ignored her, but yeah, he was fine, and I liked the way he didn't play games. Straightforward, calm, no weird energy. At least until later that day. At Faded Saints, Malik was lining up a walk-in. The guy sat down, pulling his hoodie back, and Malik froze for a second. He knew the face. Damn, Malik said slowly. You Jade's ex, right? The man looked up with a smirk. Yeah, you must be the barber she's been hanging around. Something like that, Malik said. His tone stayed level, but his jaw tightened. I just needed a cut, Devin said. Didn't know this was your shop. Rico and Dez were both looking at each other like they smelled drama. Malik said, Aight, no problem. Sit still. The tension was thick. Devin started talking like he couldn't help himself. So she told you about me? Yeah, Malik said, focusing on the fade. She say I cheated? Devin asked, tone cocky. She didn't have to say it twice. Devin chuckled. She always exaggerates. Shit wasn't even like that. Malik stopped mid-lineup, put the clippers down, and looked at him through the mirror. Let me tell you something, bro. Don't talk about her in here. You want a haircut? That's fine. You want to gossip? Go somewhere else. Rico coughed, trying not to laugh. Dez looked like he wanted popcorn. Devin raised his hands. Eat, damn! Sensitive much? Malik finished the cut in silence. When Devin paid, he left a tip that was too big, like he was trying to prove something. Malik let it sit on the counter until Devin walked out, then slid it into the trash. Around 6:45, I walked into the shop. Malik was sweeping hair, looking pissed off. What's wrong with you? I asked. He hesitated. Your ex came in earlier. I froze. Devin? Yeah, walk in. Acted like he didn't know who I was. What the fuck did he say? Enough to make me want to throw the clippers at him, Malik said. But I didn't. I finished the cut, told him to keep my name out his mouth, and that was that. I blinked. You serious? Yeah, you good? Yeah, I'm fine, I said too quick. He's been showing up places lately. I think he's trying to piss me off. Malik nodded slowly. You should have told me that. I didn't think it mattered. It does, he said. If a dude's bothering you, I should know. I crossed my arms. You're not my man, Malik. You don't gotta protect me. I'm not trying to own you, he said. I just give a fuck about you. Big difference. I stared at him, caught between mad and touched. You don't even know how to stay out of shit, do you? Not when it comes to people I care about. Yeah, well, that's how you get hurt. He leaned back against the counter. Or maybe that's how you show up for people. I sighed. You always gotta win the argument, huh? Only when I'm right. I shook my head, grabbing my purse. I need air. Jade, not now, I said, and walked out. That night, I sat in my car outside my apartment for 10 minutes, pissed off for no real reason. He didn't do anything wrong, but the whole thing rubbed me the wrong way. I hated that Devin still had a way of showing up and stirring shit. I hated that Malik stepped in like some hero because it made me feel weak, and I hated feeling weak. I texted Tasha. Me. Devin got a haircut at Malik's shop. Tasha. That messy-ass bitch. He doing it on purpose. Me. I know. Tasha. Malik say something slick? Me. He handled it fine. I'm just annoyed. Tasha. You like that man. That's why you mad. I rolled my eyes at the screen but didn't reply. She wasn't wrong, though. The next morning, Malik texted me. Malik. You good? Me. Yeah. Malik. You sure? Me. I just needed space. Malik. Cool. Take your space. Just know I'm not going anywhere. I didn't text back right away. I just sat there staring at it. For someone who wasn't trying to play games, he sure knew how to make me think. I didn't talk to Malik for 2 days. He didn't text much either. Just a, hope your shift's easy, here and there. I wasn't ignoring him out of anger. I just didn't know what to say. By Sunday, Tasha had enough. She showed up at my apartment uninvited with coffee and her usual attitude. You still mad at that man? She asked, kicking off her shoes. I'm not mad, I said. I just needed space. Space from what? He didn't even do shit wrong. He handled Devin, but now I look like some damsel in distress. Girl, shut up, she said. You sound dumb. You wanted a man who gives a fuck, and now that one does. You scared? I glared at her. You done? Nope. Call him? Not happening. Cool, she said, taking her phone out. Then I'll do it. Before I could stop her, she FaceTimed him. I snatched the phone too late. His face was already on the screen. He smiled, tired but calm. Hey, Tasha. Hey, Jade. Tasha grinned. She's acting stubborn, so fix it. Then she hung up and tossed me the phone. You're welcome. I wanted to choke her. 10 minutes later, Malik texted. Malik, you free later? We need to talk. Me. Yeah. He picked me up that night. No music, no flirting. Just quiet. He parked by the lake again, same spot as before. You still mad? He asked. I wasn't mad. Then what was that? I just needed time, I said. It's not easy for me when shit from my past pops up. I get it, he said, but don't take that out on me. I looked at him. You really think I did? Yeah. You shut down. I didn't know what the fuck was going on. I don't play guessing games. He wasn't being rude, just honest. I respected that, even if it stung. I'm not used to people handling shit for me, I said. Usually, I gotta handle my own problems. I'm not trying to take that from you, he said. But if I'm around, I'm gonna step in. That's how I'm built. We sat quiet for a bit. Then I said, I overreacted. He nodded. Yeah, but I get why. I hate that Devin still gets to fuck with my peace. Then stop giving him space in your head, he said. You with me right now, not him. I looked at him. No bullshit between us this time. Yeah, I said. You right. He reached over and held my hand. Nothing extra. No fake charm. Just a steady grip. I don't want to argue with you, he said. You too real for that. I don't like arguing either. Cool, he said. Then let's stop doing that shit. I laughed. You make it sound easy. It is. Just be real. That's it. We went to get burgers afterward. Simple spot. No crowd. Good fries. He talked about the shop. I told him about work. No flirting this time. No fake walls either. Just normal talk. After we ate, he dropped me off. Before I got out, he said, So we good? Yeah, I said. We're good. He nodded. I'm not trying to be perfect, Jade. I just want to be real. You good with that? Yeah, I said. I can deal with real. He leaned in and kissed me. Slow. Not over the top. Just long enough to make me forget what I was mad about. When we pulled back, I said, That your way of ending a fight? He smiled. Usually works. I shook my head, trying not to grin. Good night, Blade. He laughed. Good night, nurse. I went inside, locked the door, and finally felt calm for the first time in days. I woke up the next morning feeling normal for once. No drama, no weird tension, just calm. I checked my phone. Malik had texted early. Malik, you working today? Me. Yeah, double shift. Malik, eat something real before you go. I left food in your fridge. I blinked, confused. I got up, walked to the kitchen, and sure enough, there was a takeout box with a note on it. Breakfast. Don't argue. I laughed. He must have dropped it off after I fell asleep. Pancakes, eggs, turkey sausage. Man actually followed through. I texted him. Me, you broke into my house? Malik, Tasha gave me the spare key. Me, that's her last day on Earth. Malik, you welcome, by the way. Work was long, but not bad. Everyone was dragging after Halloween. I was eating lunch in the break room when Terry said, Girl, that barber dude really like you. He brought breakfast? Yeah. You keeping him? I don't know yet. You better. The last one was trash. I nodded. Facts. After my shift, I stopped by the shop. It was quiet, just Malik and Dez closing up. Music low, broom sweeping hair. Malik looked up and smiled. You survived your double shift? Barely. You broke into my house, so we even. I brought food. That's love, not crime. I laughed and sat on one of the chairs. You ever take a break? Not really, he said. Shop stays busy. Gotta keep up. You don't ever get tired? All the time, he said. But this is mine. I'd rather be tired here than anywhere else. He locked up, turned the lights off except one in the back. You want to eat? He asked. I already did. Cool. You staying anyway? He walked me to the small back room, the one he said he wanted to turn into a chill spot. There was a couch, a mini fridge, and a little lamp. You did all this? I asked. Yeah, he said. You work too hard. Figured when you drop by, you can chill back here. No noise. No people asking for shit. I looked around. It wasn't fancy, but it was real. You serious? Yeah, he said. Keys on the counter. You giving me a key to your shop? Not to the shop, he said. To this room. You need somewhere quiet. This it. I didn't even know what to say for a second. You know that's kind of a big deal, right? He shrugged. So? Most dudes barely want to share fries. I'm not most dudes. He sat on the couch, leaned back, and looked at me. I like you, Jade. You make my life calm, not complicated. I don't want to mess that up. I sat next to him. You already sound like a boyfriend. Maybe I am. You never asked. Okay, he said, turning toward me. I'm asking now. You mine or not? I laughed a little. You don't waste time. Don't need to. I know what I want. I looked at him for a long second. He wasn't playing around. Yeah, I said finally. I'm yours. He smiled, leaned in, and kissed me again. It wasn't forced. It wasn't awkward. It was just right. When we pulled apart, he said, Good. Now stop fighting me about breakfast. Whatever, I said, smiling. Next time, bring bacon. Later that night, when I got home, I sat on my couch and texted Tasha. Me. You happy now? Tasha. Y'all official? Me. Yeah. Tasha. About damn time. It had been a week since me and Malik made it official. Nothing crazy happened, no games, no drama, just peace. We saw each other when we could. I'd stop by the shop after work, or he'd drop food off at the hospital on my long shifts. Sometimes we just sat in his back room, talking about random shit. No pretending. It felt good. That Friday, the neighborhood had a small cleanup event. Malik dragged me out of bed early. You promised, he said, standing at my door holding 2 coffees. I promised I'd think about it, I said, half asleep. Too late. You up now? I groaned. You're annoying. Yeah, but you like me. We spent the morning picking up trash around the block with a bunch of kids from the area. Malik knew everyone. People yelled his name every 5 minutes. Yo, Blade, you cutting later? Yeah, after this. Go get your lineup fixed. He was in his element. I watched him talk to everybody, old people, kids, random neighbors. He had a way of making folks feel seen. When it was over, he handed me a water. You did good. I picked up trash, not exactly a gold medal moment. Still means something, he said. People notice who shows up. Later, we sat on the steps outside his shop. It was quiet for once. No clippers, no customers, just us. He looked at me and said, You know what I like about you? I gave him a look. What? You don't need attention. You just want real shit. I respect that. Yeah, I'm too old for fake. Same, he said. You ever think about moving in with somebody again? I blinked. That escalated fast. He laughed. Not right now. I'm just saying, down the road. I don't know, I said. Last time I did that, it didn't end well. I ain't him, Malik said. I don't do fake promises. I know, I said. That's why I fuck with you. He grinned. Good answer. Before I left, he handed me a small envelope. What's this? Open it when you get home. I got back to my apartment, sat on the couch, and tore it open. Inside was a single key, the same one from his shop, with a note that said, Keep it. You don't need to ask to come by. No fancy words, no speech, just simple and real. That night, we met up again. He cooked dinner in the shop's back room. Fried chicken, mac, green beans, cornbread. We ate sitting on the couch, watching a movie on his phone propped up on the table. Halfway through, I looked at him and said, "You happy?" He nodded. "Yeah, you." "Yeah." He reached over and grabbed my hand. "We good? We good," I said. He leaned in, kissed me, then said, "No more bullshit, right?" "None," I said. "No games, no fake shit." "Deal." He smiled. "Guess that's it then." "Guess so," I said. "Now shut up and play the movie." He laughed and leaned back, still holding my hand. For once, everything was simple. No lies, no masks, just two people finally getting it right.